Collectively, educators and their unions are coming together on a national and international level to push back against a global project of corporate education reform models backed by billionaires such as Bill Gates, Eli Broad, and the Walton Family of Walmart. Through their version of reform, educators are being stereotyped as bad seeds and selfish, while these same elitists are trying to defund public education, destabilize public school systems, privatize schools and school services, push for more high-stakes testing to control what is being taught and learned, and attempting to destroy the teacher movement altogether. For instance, the Chicago Teachers Union is currently rallying around new contract demands while the district claims it is facing a $1.1 billion deficit and blaming it on the cost of teacher pension funds. Additionally, the CTU strike of 2012 was an important message to corporate reformers that the teachers of Chicago weren't going to lie down silently and let legislators or billionaires intimidate the rank and file members of the CTU. Aligning with parents in the community, CTU showed the importance of social justice activism as a way to connect to schools and communities.
The strike of 2012 was very important because it was the first real show of resistance against corporate school reform models that have been forced on people across this country and have been horrendous. So what made this strike different from any other teacher strike ever in the history of America is that in this teacher strike, we had a whole new layer of activists come out because we had parents, we had students, and we had community members standing with us side by side, day by day, supporting us. In addition, we have created an entire new generation of student activists who understand that their education is under attack and they're willing to fight back.
Another example of deprofessionalizing educators can be seen in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where Governor Scott Walker, a favorite of the Koch brothers, enacted Act 10, a law that in 2011 took away virtually all bargaining rights of unions, including the right to arbitration. Since then, deep cuts in education funding have occurred in the state, and Governor Walker has expanded the statewide private school voucher program, which redirects public school funding to private schools.
I am Carrie Dolman, a high school social studies teacher and president of the Colorado Education Association. It's great to see you all here. In Washington, D.C., Congress is working on an assessment and testing issue called Elementary Secondary Education Act, but here today, we need to do the same thing. We are here to let our Colorado legislators know that our students are more than a school.
We are the parents, fighting for students, fighting for students.
We are at the moment of truth in New Jersey, and here's the truth. New Jersey is in trouble. Our pension systems are at risk, and if our pension system fails, our whole state fails along with it. That cannot be allowed to happen.
So then the question remains, why are policymakers and the elite going after teacher unions everywhere?
Teachers' unions are the greatest barrier to the plan to privatize schools and de-professionalize teaching. By having good enough teachers who will teach to the test, work for low salaries, and remain only a few years in their jobs. That is the plan. It is no accident that they're going after tenure and seniority every place in the world. They're going after it because they want to deprofessionalize teaching. That's what it's all about. And unions are the greatest barrier to that. To the extent that anyone is fighting against privatization, for seniority, for tenure, for stability in the schools, it's teachers' unions.
Across the globe, teacher unions exercise collective power and face similar struggles as we do here in the United States, with bloated class sizes, data-driven testing, unfair teacher evaluations, poor working conditions, and pension cuts.
I'm out today with the NUT because of our ongoing dispute over pay, pensions and conditions. Secretary of State for Education Michael Gove continues to not talk seriously or properly with the teaching unions, and that's why we continue to take action, because we're standing up for education.
So why are you striking today?
Striking for a number of reasons. The pension saga, for sure. People that have been teaching as long as me.
As unions forge ahead, becoming leaders of a social movement paves the way for our collective voices to be heard at the local, state, and federal levels. Partnering with parents and the community is key to organizing for power, collective bargaining, and building a more just society for the future. Unions are striking out against the mandates that micromanage educators in the classroom, that eliminate student services on campuses, and the attempt to narrow the definition of learning in our schools. They're also compelled by their members to defend the profession as a whole and uphold its mission of putting students first.
El planteamiento político es de rechazo y obviamente nuestra postura es firme. Por otro lado, nosotros seguimos caminando en nuestro esquema pedagógico.